Hey folks, today we're going to show you how to use Data Studio to create reports and dashboards from your tables data. Data Studio is a great option if you want to pull data from multiple sources, including sheets, tables, BigQuery even, and other databases, and then bring them together in one dashboard. Here we've got a demo multi-project tracker. Now let me explain what this means. What you're seeing here are three tables, milestones table, and then you see a table of data for team A and a table of data for team B. Milestones is, of course, where we track the overall milestones for our project. These are milestones that are common between multiple teams here. You'll notice, for example, we have a status of Team A's work and a status of Team B's work as well. And if we dive into one of these tabs here, Team A, you'll see we have a set of tasks. Tasks are tied to a particular milestone. They have their own statuses, assignees. And if we go to Team B, you'll notice we have the same thing here with a different set of tasks, all tied to the milestones, again with a different set of statuses and owners as well. Let's head over to Data Studio. And for those who are unfamiliar with it, Data Studio is a visualization tool that lets you create easy reports, charts, and dashboards that you can share with other folks to see all your data in one place. An important concept in Data Studio is that there are reports and data sources. You can think of reports as individual dashboards that can have many pages and charts and visualizations within. Data sources are connections to your data, which can be in sheets, in tables, and elsewhere, and you can have multiple data sources used across multiple reports. Let's head back to the Data Studio homepage and create our first report with tables. When you create your first report, you'll notice you start with a blank canvas in the background, and it'll ask you to connect to your data immediately because without your data, you can't really visualize anything. If you come down to the search bar and look for tables, you'll see there will be a Google-supported tables connector available. If you click on that, there will be an option to select the table, either by pasting the URL or selecting from a recent workspace and then the table within. In this case, we'll use the URL, and what we'll want to do is head back over to our table and copy the URL from the browser window up here, and we can paste it right in and hit add. You'll see that it'll automatically create a table with a data source attached. You'll see it defaults to some fields being shown in the table, and you can see the configuration on the right side with all the available fields as well as the specific fields used in the visualization right now. Keep in mind that this data source came from the Team B table, so we need to go back and rename this data source and also add Team A into this dashboard. If we click on Resource and Manage, you'll see our first data source there. Let's go ahead and rename it to Team B Project Tracker. It'll take a second for the name to update, and in the meantime, let's add Team A as another data source. Select a URL, and I'll paste in a different URL I've already copied earlier to keep this video short. We have our second data source, and we also need to rename this. Let's call this Team A Project Tracker. Now let's go back and name our report. Let's call this the Joint Demo Project Tracker Report. Very original. And let's remove this table that was initially created. Let's create our own charts where we can visualize the status of each project team. Let's go to Add Chart, and we'll go with a pie chart for now. You'll see it automatically selected Team B's data source. Let's adjust this a bit. We don't need the date range, so let's go ahead and remove that. Right now it's slicing based on the milestone, but instead we want to slice by status. You'll notice that the metric says some ID, but what that means is it's taking the ID numbers and adding them up and then using those to create the proportions of the pie chart. We don't want that. We actually want to count up the number of task IDs so that we're getting the unique number of tasks per status instead. We can change the colors by going to Style and Manage Colors. There's some old values in there from the milestones, so let's click on Restore Default Colors, and then let's go ahead and select the specific colors we want. Maybe yellow for in progress, green for complete, pinkish for blocked, and white for not started. We can add some text here to call out that this is Team B's status. And we can also make this text bigger and then reposition the chart and the label a little bit better. Finally, we can copy and paste this to create one for Team A as well. And in fact, Team A should really come before Team B, so let's go ahead and modify the one on the left and change it to use the Team A data source, and let's remove the date range dimension. And there you have it. Now we have two pie charts helping us visualize the status from each team all in one dashboard. You can adjust the background of this dashboard so that it's easier to see the white in the pie charts. Let's give it a grayish color. And then you can preview it by clicking on this view button here to see what it looks like overall. And this is just the tip of the iceberg with Data Studio. You can create all sorts of visualizations, including tables, scorecards, line charts, even maps as well. And again, the beauty of this is you can bring this together from multiple data sources, multiple tables, and then you can share this reporting dashboard with other stakeholders or collaborators without having to give them permissions to the data sources themselves. And that's our demo for the Tables Data Studio connector, and thanks for watching.